Hello, everyone. If you're gearing up for the Staff Selection Commission exams, you know that the logical reasoning and math sections can be a real game changer. So in this explainer, we're going to build up your mental toolbox to help you absolutely crush some of the trickiest questions they can throw at you. Okay, let's just dive right in with a classic logic puzzle. We've got a few statements. Some tablets are phones, all chargers are phones, and all wires are tablets. Now, based only on that info, we have to figure out which of these three conclusions is actually guaranteed to be true. Now, if you're looking at that and your brain is starting to hurt, don't worry. That's exactly what these questions are designed to do. But we are about to add our first tool to your toolbox, a technique that's going to make this whole thing crystal clear. So tool number 1 is all about decoding relationships. It's about learning to see past the words on the page and really understand the hidden connections and the structure of the logic itself. You know, there's a name for this kind of puzzle. It's called a syllogism. And here is the absolute golden rule for solving them. You have to forget everything you know about the real world. Seriously, it doesn't matter if chargers are phones in real life. All that matters is what the statements tell you is true. To really get why these are tricky, let's look at the heart of logical deduction. On the left, you see a valid argument. If you know that either P or Q is true, and then you find out P is false, well, then Q has to be true, right? But look at the trap on the right. Just knowing that P or Q is true isn't enough to say that Q is true all by itself. We have to avoid that kind of leap in logic. So how do we use this? Simple. We visualize it. I want you to picture drawing circles or Venn diagrams. The statement all chargers are phones means you draw a small charger circle completely inside a bigger phone circle. Makes sense, right? Then some tablets are phones means the tablet circle has to overlap the phone circle somewhere. And all wires are tablets means a wire circle goes inside the tablet one. Now, if you picture that diagram in your head, you can see that none of the conclusions are a sure thing. The charger and tablet circles might not touch at all, and that's why drawing it out is so powerful. All right, let's shift gears from logical relationships to our second tool, mastering patterns. This one is absolutely essential for all those sequence questions you're going to see. Here is a super common type of problem. You get a sequence of letters C, G, J, then E, I, L, then G, K, N. And you've got to find what comes next. Take a quick second, pause if you need to, and see if you can crack the code on your own. So what's the secret? You've got to break it down. Don't look at CJJ as one big chunk. Look at each letter's position. The first letters go C, E, G. See that? It's just skipping a letter or moving 2 spots forward in the alphabet. The second letters, G, I, K. Same thing, +2. And the third letters, J, L, N. You guessed it, another +2 pattern. So if we follow that logic, the next group has to be I, M, P. And now for our third and final tool. And this one is a lifesaver for problems that are specifically designed to trick you. We call it the power of reversal. It's all about flipping your perspective. This kind of question is a classic trap. It's about exponential growth, and it's designed to make you think in one direction, from start to finish. But that is exactly where people get tripped up. I bet your first instinct is to think, okay, quarter full, let me divide 40 by 4 and get 10 minutes, right? But that's the trap. The trick is not to think forward from an empty jar, but to work backwards from the one thing you know for sure. The jar is full at 40 minutes. And this is where working backwards makes everything so simple. Think about it. If the jar is completely full at 40 minutes and the liquid doubles every 5 minutes, what was it like 5 minutes before that, at 35 minutes? Well, it must have been half full. And what about 5 minutes before that? Half of a half is a quarter, so the jar was 1/4 full at 30 minutes. See? So much easier when you go in reverse. So there you have it. We've just added 3 incredibly powerful tools to your mental toolbox for those Staff Selection Commission exams. And these aren't just little tricks. They are fundamental ways of thinking that you can apply to all sorts of problems. So let's recap the big takeaways. For those messy logic puzzles, visualize them, draw it out. For any kind of sequence, break it down into its simplest parts. And for those really confusing problems that try to trap you, try working backwards from the answer. These 3 strategies will help you slice right through the confusion. Okay, so now you have the tools, you understand the logic. The only thing left to do is put them into practice. So the next time you see a question that looks tough, don't get intimidated. Just see it as an opportunity to open up your toolbox and get to work.